Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 534 based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin's idea was to use the All-Seer's avatar soul to divinate where the All-Seer was. He closed his eyes and he saw where he had confined the All-Seer's avatar soul. Over the years, Wang Lin had used the All-Seer's avatar soul to divinate countless life and death situations, and it had been a great help to him. If not for the fact that he felt like the All-Seer's existence was a great threat to him, he wouldn't want to provoke him. After all, in Wang Lin's heart, the All-Seer's mysteriousness was something he never felt from another person. What the hell is he? And what kind of plan does he have? Wang Lin frowned as his mind fused with the All-Seer's avatar and slowly began to divinate. Time slowly passed. Wang Lin sat outside his house and didn't move at all. His mind was fully integrated with the All-Seer and he had that illusion where he had become the All-Seer. This was not the first time he felt this feeling. In fact, when he was facing danger from the All-Seer, he had already experienced this. As he integrated, Wang Lin gradually calmed down, and although his eyes were closed, the celestial realm was in his mind. Everything in the heavens was in his eyes, nothing could escape his divination. This kind of feeling would make one expand infinitely. Wang Lin seemed to have forgotten his name and had become part of the All-Seer. Under this integration, his divine sense spread out around his body. With this method, Wang Lin wanted to find the All-Seer through the connection between the All-Seer's avatar and original body. However, to do this, he had to fully integrate with the All-Seer's avatar. This was not his first time using this method. He had carefully thought about whether there would be any danger, but he couldn't think of any issues. Just as Wang Lin was fusing with the All-Seer's avatar, there was a meteor slowly floating through the summoned river. The All-Seer was sitting inside the meteor, and he revealed a strange smile. His strange, white hair danced in a strange way, giving him the air of a celestial. However, his smile broke this whole image and made it look very grim. His eyes slowly opened and shined brightly. The smile on the corner of his mouth became even wider and his gaze seemed to penetrate through the meteor, through the stars, and through the celestial realm to see the figure sitting there. You are worthy of being this old man's disciple. You can't escape my hands. The higher your cultivation level, the more you will help his old man. The more benefits I'll obtain. 7 essences? Good, good. Good. The All-Seer smiled and clenched his right hand. The aura of the Karma essence spread out from his fist. It was the Karma essence, the real Karma essence. Left hand controls life and right hand controls death. This old man knows as well. The All-Seer placed his left hand on his knee. Aside from the Karma essence, a second essence appeared in his hands. It was life and death. Eyes closed are false and eyes open are true. As the All-Seer closed and opened his eyes, the true and false essence appeared. What was even more shocking was that there was a flame raging in the All-Seer's left eye and a bolt of thunder flashing across his right eye. These I know. This old man also has the slaughter essence. Between the All-Seer's eyebrow, a vague vortex appeared. There was another All-Seer inside in a grey robe. Very good. This old man has accepted all of this. Now this 7th essence, the All-Seer's eyes lit up and his pupils became filled with bloodlines. In a short period of time, these bloodlines almost completely covered his eyes, and restrictions began to appear. However, the restrictions inside his eyes would take some time to completely fuse with the bloodlines. It wouldn't take long for the All-Seer to comprehend the complete restriction essence. The bloodlines in the eyes become the rules of the world and make yourself into the world. Disciple, you really surprised teacher. No one has thought of this method before. Very good, you are indeed worthy of being the heaven-defying child I spent countless years divinating. My plan will be completed with you, it will be completed. The All-Seer licked his lips and revealed a look of excitement. This kind of expression was extremely rare to see from the All-Seer. I have a tree that I planted 2,000 years ago, and now it has bloomed. But it is not time to harvest the fruits yet, I have to send out more nourishment. The All-Seer's eyes lit up and a large amount of restrictions fused with the bloodlines in his eyes. In this short period of time, the restrictions fused with nearly 30% of the bloodlines and were continuing to fuse. However, just at this moment, the All-Seer's expression suddenly narrowed and his smile disappeared. Even the restrictions that were rapidly fusing with his eyes stopped. In the new celestial realm, Wang Lin had been sitting outside his house for 5 days. At this moment, he opened his eyes and forced himself to separate from his fusion with the All-Seer. His expression was gloomy and suspicion appeared in his eyes as he looked at his body. His eyebrows were tightly furrowed. Strange, when I fuse with the All-Seer's soul, why do I feel like I lost some essence? Wang Lin pondered and carefully observed his 7 essences. However, no matter how he looked, his essences weren't reduced, which made him feel a bit at ease. However, doubt still filled his heart. My essences didn't decrease. But why do I feel this way? Was it an illusion? Wang Lin silently pondered for a moment and once again fused with the All-Seer's soul. He slowly integrated, but just as he was about to fully fuse, he suddenly stopped the integration by force and suddenly stood up. Wang Lin's expression was as gloomy as the cold winter ice. He looked up at the sky with a cold gaze. Something's wrong. This feeling can't be an illusion. There is something weird about the All-Seer's avatar. Wang Lin's right hand hit his forehead and pulled something out. Smoke came out of his forehead and turned into a soul that looked like the All-Seer. The All-Seer's avatar's soul sat there, motionless. What is the problem? Wang Lin stared at the soul and his divine sense carefully searched it. However, he found nothing, which made him feel even more doubt. There is no clue, and my essences didn't lessen. It is just my feeling. Could my feeling be wrong? This avatar has some connection with the All-Seer's original body, and I want to use it to find the All-Seer. However, why do I feel like this avatar and the connection are all part of the All-Seer's scheme? Wang Lin's heart trembled. He couldn't believe his own speculations. Back in the demon spirit land, I killed the All-Seer's avatar with Sundered Night and took his avatar's soul as my prize. Could it be that it was an intentional act by the All-Seer? This seems too unbelievable. Wang Lin recalled what took place back then and couldn't find any trace of it being deliberately manipulated by the All-Seer. Looking at the All-Seer's avatar's soul, Wang Lin's expression changed constantly and became even more gloomy. He didn't understand. His eyes lit up and he immediately disappeared from where he was. When he reappeared, he was in the southern part of the celestial realm. He was beneath a towering mountain covered in snow. Cold wind howled and there were specks of crystals in the wind. The wind contained snowflakes, and when they land on your body, they were extremely cold. Wang Lin jumped toward the mountain and flew toward the top. The cold wind blew on his face but was unable to stop him at all. When he got close to the mountainside, Wang Lin saw Qing Shuang. She was dressed in white and looked at the world before her. She looked bleak, and her eyes were filled with struggle and reminiscence. Behind her, Ji Yi seemed to be whispering something, and his gaze toward Qing Shuang was filled with gentleness and love. They didn't notice Wang Lin's arrival and he didn't disturb them. He flew past them and arrived at the top of the mountain. There was a white pavilion here filled with celestial energy that formed a giant vortex in the sky. It could clearly be seen from a distance. Wang Lin stepped out of the void just outside the pavilion. The door of the pavilion silently opened. Qing Lin appeared in a blue shirt, looking like a scholar. He smiled at Wang Lin. It is rare for Brother Wang to come. I wonder, why are you looking for me? Although Qing Lin had said he would take Wang Lin as his disciple, as time passed, this matter was never mentioned again. Wang Lin's current cultivation level and identity naturally made Qing Lin change the way he addressed Wang Lin. This was to show respect to someone that was his equal. I heard that you were known for your divination, Senior Qing Lin. I want to ask Senior to help me divinate something. Wang Lin clasped his hands at Qing Lin with a serious expression. Qing Lin saw Wang Lin's serious expression and immediately withdrew his smile. He said in a serious tone, "Good, I'll do my best. Tell me what needs to be done." The soul in my hand belongs to an avatar of the All-Seer from the brilliant void. This All-Seer is known for his divination and now has hidden somewhere. I fear something unexpected will be caused by him, so I want to find him through his avatar's soul. But Wang Lin spoke of what he felt. He waved his right hand and the All-Seer's avatar soul appeared in his grasp. After hearing Wang Lin's words, Qing Lin's face became serious. His eyes shined as he stared at the All-Seer's soul. There is such a thing. Let me see this soul. Qing Lin raised his right hand and grabbed the All-Seer's avatar's soul to take a closer look. After a long time, Qing Lin frowned. He withdrew his divine sense from the All-Seer's avatar's soul and returned it to Wang Lin. There is nothing wrong. This soul is no different from other avatar souls, and it is very weak. It could die at any time. You also can't find it. Wang Lin pondered a bit before saying, how about this? I'll merge with it and your divine sense will enter my body to see if there is any change to my essences. Qing Lin nodded. Allowing someone else's divine sense to enter his body while he was completely immersed in fusing with the All-Seer's avatar soul was very dangerous. If the other party had any ill intent, it would greatly harm Wang Lin. However, Wang Lin trusted Qing Lin. Although they hadn't spent much time together, given all that had happened between them, it was enough to obtain his trust. Qing Lin felt very emotional toward Wang Lin's words. He understood Wang Lin and knew how cautious Wang Lin was. Hearing Wang Lin say such words showed how much Wang Lin trusted him. Wang Lin didn't speak more and sat down before Qing Lin. Before him was the All-Seer's avatar's soul. He closed his eyes and his mind entered the All-Seer's avatar's soul to fuse with it. Qing Lin's eyes shined on the side and he wiped away all distraction in his mind. His divine sense entered Wang Lin and carefully looked around. This caused Qing Lin to tremble and his eyes were filled with disbelief. 7 essences. Before, I heard he had 6 essences. 6 is already unimaginable, but now there are 7. How exactly did Wang Lin cultivate to have 7 essences? This is simply too amazing. Qing Lin took a deep breath and looked at Wang Lin with shock in his eyes. However, what shocked him even more was that when his divine sense entered Wang Lin, he not only felt the essences, but also another power that made his heart tremble. This power made him feel like he was an ant facing the heavens. This aura that shocked him was Wang Lin's bloodline. The aura coming from the bloodline was very ancient and seemed to exist along with the world. All life had to bow and tremble in fear and awe before this aura. This aura was extremely tyrannical. It seemed like it would erase you from reincarnation itself if you dared to show it any disrespect. Qing Lin's face immediately turned pale and he subconsciously took a few steps back. His gaze toward Wang Lin was no longer filled with shock but horror. I knew he had the body of an ancient god, but the aura coming from his body does not belong to an ancient god. What kind of aura is this? It is so terrifying. After pondering for a moment, Qing Lin forced his heart to calm down and began to observe Wang Lin. This was also the key moment of Wang Lin's fusion with the All-Seer's avatar's soul. As he watched, Qing Lin's expression suddenly changed. He vaguely felt that each of the 7 essences inside Wang Lin, especially the restriction essence, had split apart off and began to operate on their own outside of Wang Lin's control, as if they were being manipulated by a strange force. Wang Lin didn't notice any of this but just felt like something was wrong. While he was fused with the All-Seer's soul, the sliver of restriction essence cycled even faster inside Wang Lin. Something's wrong. The more Qing Lin saw, the stranger he felt. With no hesitation, he pointed to the spot between Wang Lin's eyebrows. Stop spell. With one point, Wang Lin's body trembled and stopped. Everything inside him was forced to stop by the stop spell. Next, Qing Lin's finger slid down to Wang Lin's chest. Then he pulled out a thread out from Wang Lin's chest and wrapped it around his finger. Qing Lin's eyes lit up as he stared at the thread. This thread was a portion of the restriction essence that was moving on its own. Qing Lin's divine sense gathered on this thread. When he entered it, his mind rumbled and the world around him suddenly became chaotic. When he could see clearly again, a familiar star system appeared before him. This star system was the summoned river. Wang Lin's restriction essence that moved on its own was brought here. Qing Lin was here with his divine sense and saw the thread before him. The thread extended into the distance with no trace of it ending. There was a flash of coldness in his eyes and Qing Lin followed the thread. I want to see if it's the All-Seer's original body causing a problem or someone else. Qing Lin's expression was gloomy. He followed that line into the distance. About half an incense stick of time later, Qing Lin had chased into the distance. However, a burst of seven-colored light shined where the thread was extending toward. An ancient voice echoed when the seven-colored light appeared. Qing Lin. This is not something you should get involved in. Scram for this old man. With that voice, the seven-colored light flashed violently. It turned into a blade that chopped down toward Qing Lin. This blade occupied almost the entire star domain. As it moved, the entire star domain seemed to tremble. Qing Lin's eyes narrowed. He stopped moving and opened his arms after forming a seal. Star, moon, sun, 3 light protection. 3 swords, open the river. Starlight, moonlight, and sunlight gathered around Qing Lin to form a barrier, and it collided with the blade. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the blade collapsed. Its collapse caused Qing Lin to tremble, and he disappeared from this star domain. In the celestial realm, on the snowy mountain, the thin line in Qing Lin's hand collapsed. He retreated a few steps, and his face was extremely pale. Wang Lin was also shocked, and the stop spell dissipated. He separated from the fusion and opened his eyes. Qing Lin slowly said, I never saw the All-Seer, but I saw 7-colored light. When you fused, a trace of your restriction essence extended out toward the summoned river due to some mysterious force. I chased after it but was cut off by a 7-colored blade. Summoned river, there was a flash of coldness in Wang Lin's eyes. If my guess is not wrong, then the soul in your hand is your connection to him. Through his soul, he can steal your essences. This person is indeed amazing to think of such a method, but how did he do it? How could he steal your essences with a mere avatar? And there is also one thing that makes no sense. If he really is stealing your essences, why have your essences not been reduced? Also, there is something strange about this person. Although that spell looked simple, it actually contained the power of the entire world. It is not simple, Qing Lin slowly said after pondering. The killing intent in Wang Lin's eyes became even stronger. These were things he had pondered but could not understand. Perhaps he chose a method similar to imprinting. Wang Lin's eyes lit up. Just at this moment, an ancient voice echoed across the snowy mountain and entered Wang Lin and Qing Lin's ears. Early in my years, I heard of a spell. This spell is called the Reincarnation Integration Spell. At the same time as the voice appeared, a blue light appeared in the sky, reflecting off the snowy mountain. Dao Master Blue Dream walked toward the snowy mountain. Qing Lin greets Senior Dao Master. Qing Lin was startled and clasped his hands at Dao Master Blue Dream. Reincarnation Integration Spell? Wang Lin's eyes narrowed. Dao Master Blue Dream landed on the mountain and smiled as he looked at Qing Lin. Then his gaze shifted to Wang Lin. It was filled with kindness. I heard that this spell came from the Sovereign. It is said to be one of the 7-colored celestial sovereign spells. However, not even the 7-colored celestial sovereign was successful in cultivating it. The key of this spell is to go through countless reincarnations and regard each reincarnation as part of oneself. In the end, they devour each other in order to complete this spell. There are other complicated matters, but I have never seen this spell. However, I know that if the avatar created through this spell is obtained by someone else, that avatar will fuse with that person after a short period of time. Once they become one, the side that devoured more obtains everything you have, including your aura and cultivation. However many essence you have, the other party will have that as well. This spell is too evil, but once it is successful, it is very powerful. From your current state, along with what Qing Lin said and the soul in your hand, I'm 40% confident that someone has used the reincarnation integration spell on you. Wang Lin silently pondered. Although I don't know the specifics of this spell, all spells have a weakness. This reincarnation integration spell is the same. If you can devour the other party, your cultivation level will increase. Dao Master Blue Dream spoke slowly, his eyes shining. I'll help you find the person who used this spell on you. I want to see how talented this person is to cultivate a spell that even the seven-colored celestial sovereign couldn't cultivate. However, you have to kill him yourself, as you and this soul have already integrated into one. Perhaps this is a great fortune for you. Dao Master Blue Dream raised his right hand and a monstrous, blue light condensed in his hand. He pressed it between Wang Lin's eyebrows. Wang Lin's mind trembled and everything before him was covered in blue light. He saw the stars fly by before him inside the blue light. At this moment, he saw the summoned river and the floating meteor in the summoned river. And the All-Seer, who was sitting inside the meteor. He suddenly opened his eyes in shock. Wang Lin's gaze overlapped with the All-Seer's gaze at this instant. All-Seer. Everything before Wang Lin collapsed and the blue light around him faded. His body trembled and he stepped forward. He disappeared from the celestial realm and went through the silver river around it. Qing Lin looked at where Wang Lin disappeared to, and worry appeared on his face. Don't worry. This All-Seer won't live for long after daring to scheme against my son-in-law. Dao Master Blue Dream's eyes revealed killing intent. He was also biased, and in his eyes, Wang Lin was the same as his own child now. Although he had spoken calmly, he was extremely angry. He waved his sleeve and blue light surrounded him before he disappeared from the snowy mountain. Qing Lin's eyes shined brightly and he also stepped forward, charging into the sky. Before he left, Qing Lin's divine sense spread across the celestial realm. Senior Hongshan and Senior South Cloud, Wang Lin was schemed against by someone named All-Seer. I'm heading over, will you two come with me? Master Hongshan's aura erupted from the center of the celestial realm. He flew into the sky with no hesitation. Behind him, Master South Cloud pondered a bit and chose to stay. After all, there weren't many third-step cultivators in the celestial realm, and all of them leaving would leave them at a disadvantage. Wang Lin rushed out from the silver river around the celestial realm and fused with the world. When he reappeared, he was already inside the summoned river. Although he looked calm, his eyes were filled with killing intent. There were still a lot of things he didn't understand, but what Dao Master Blue Dream had said made him understand one thing. The All-Seer had been scheming against him from a long time ago, whether it was planet Suzaku or the demon spirit land. Back then, I saw through his schemes once, and after he miscalculated once, he quickly came up with another plan. He used his avatar as bait. This person. Wang Lin, must kill him. No matter what plan he has, even if I don't find out what it is, it will be over once I kill. Wang Lin was filled with killing intent. His body was like a sword piercing through the stars. He moved very fast and would sometimes fuse with the world as he rapidly rushed to the place he had seen earlier. All of this happened in an instant. Deep inside the meteor in the summoned river, the All-Seer's expression changed. He felt someone's divine sense look at him, and he immediately recognized that this divine sense belonged to Wang Lin. With his cultivation level, he shouldn't have been able to find this place so soon. Someone helped him. And that person is not Qing Lin. The All-Seer's eyes lit up and he stood up. Just as he was about to step out from the meteor, he suddenly turned around. He looked outside the meteor and his expression became gloomy. So fast. Outside the meteor, a ray of light was flying toward him. Wang Lin was inside the ray of light and was locked onto the meteor. His right hand formed a fist as he closed in, and he collided with the meteor. A thunderous rumble echoed when Wang Lin's fist collided with the meteor. The meteor collapsed into countless fragments that dissipated into dust. A destructive ripple echoed as if his fist was going to punch a hole through space. There was a flash of seven-colored light and the All-Seer's body appeared. His hand formed a seal and waved. The destructive fire dissipated before him. All-Seer. Wang Lin raised his head and stared at the All-Seer. He then stepped toward the All-Seer. The All-Seer's expression was calm, and he didn't panic at all. As Wang Lin closed in, fire raged in his left eye and formed a sea of fire that spread out. He raised his right hand and pointed at the sky. The large sea of fire immediately turned into a fire vermilion bird. It let out a loud hiss and flapped its wings, flying toward Wang Lin. Wang Lin wasn't shocked by this. When he heard Down Master Blue Dream's words, he had prepared for this. When he saw the Allseer control his fire essence, the killing intent in his heart became even stronger. As the fire vermilion bird closed in, fire also raged inside Wang Lin's left eye. A giant fire vermilion bird appeared before him and charged forward. Looking at it from a distance, this was a shocking and extremely rare scene. Two giant vermilion birds, each taking up half the star domain, collided. Wang Lin and the Allseer's white hair danced, and their gazes collided at the spot where the two vermilion birds collided. The collision of the two fire essences caused a shockwave that spread across the star system. Large amounts of spatial rifts appeared and a destructive wave of heat spread out in all directions. As the thunderous collision echoed, the two vermilion birds collapsed and turned into two masses of fire. One rushed toward the Allseer and the other drowned Wang Lin. Just as the fire that covered everything collapsed, thunder echoed where the Allseer was. Thunder gathered from all sides and formed a giant nine-headed thunder dragon. This nine-headed thunder dragon let out a roar and each of the 9 heads released a bolt of thunder. They penetrated the collapsed fire and rushed at Wang Lin like divine retribution. Wang Lin's expression was gloomy. He was familiar with the thunder essence, and he rushed forward. The thunder in his right eye flashed and he turned into a giant bolt of eternal thunder. He charged at the 9-headed thunder dragon. The two thunder essences collided before the fire had scattered. Thunder rumbled and Wang Lin's face turned pale, but he didn't retreat. He penetrated the collapsed thunder and was now a few hundred feet from the Allseer. The Allseer smiled and slightly shook his head as he watched Wang Lin close in. He raised his right hand and his 5 fingers opened up. He reached at Wang Lin and his 5 fingers formed a fist. Wang Lin's actions were the same as his, they each formed a fist and then pulled back. Both their bodies trembled. The Allseer's face turned pale and he coughed out a mouthful of blood. He was forced to retreat, but his eyes were still calm. Your spells, your essences, you know everything I know. Wang Lin retreated and stared at the Allseer. The killing intent in his eyes became even stronger and a large amount of bloodlines appeared in his eyes. My essence, my spells, you know them all. What about this? Wang Lin raised his right hand and swept it across his eyes. 2 giant eyes appeared, and they were filled with bloodlines. They were densely packed and looked like rules. Restriction essence, with my lines, descend as rules. Wang Lin waved his hand and the 2 eyes before him flew out and expanded rapidly. In an instant, they were infinitely large. At this moment, the bloodlines in his eyes flew out and filled the star domain. At a glance, this area was covered in bloodlines. The layers of bloodlines contained restrictions, and they wrapped around the Allseer like a spider web. Kill! Wang Lin roared, and the bloodlines around him became sharp and swept past the Allseer like a meat grinder. You and I have already become one, you are my avatar. So what if I let you kill me? The Allseer revealed a strange smile. He allowed the countless lines of blood to cut him up, and his body collapsed. With this, the deathly aura of a soul that only Wang Lin could see flew out from the Allseer's collapsed body. Whether Wang Lin was willing or not, it flew into his body and fused with the Allseer avatar soul inside him, making it a bit stronger. At the moment the Allseer's avatar soul became stronger, Wang Lin immediately felt the Allseer's aura appear in another part of the summoned river. Wang Lin silently pondered before stepping forward and disappearing. In that direction, there was a cultivation planet, and on that planet, there was a basin. The surrounding area was completely withered. Only an old man sat there. He had a head of white hair and wore a white robe. He opened his eyes and put on the same smile. His eyes were filled with bloodlines, and they were complete, containing the power of restrictions. I had to trade a soul in order to obtain the restriction essence, but it was worth it. It's just that his cultivation level isn't high enough, he should have been a bit stronger. If that were the case, I would be closer to completing my plan. Allseer revealed a look of anticipation. Reincarnation integration. This spell is indeed mysterious. With this awakening, I know now that I wasn't the first to awaken after those other 2. I have awakened 97 times. This will be my 98th time. The Allseer took a deep breath and the blood lines in his eyes disappeared. He stood up and looked at the sky. He should catch up soon. As he spoke, the clouds above the planet churned and Wang Lin's figure walked out of the sky. He looked down at the earth and stared at the Allseer. After seeing Wang Lin appear, the Allseer's smile became even wider. Next time, it will be in that direction. The Allseer raised his right hand and pointed to the right. His finger drew an arc and then pointed to the spot between his eyebrows. His finger penetrated his skull, and with a strange smile, the Allseer's body collapsed. A wisp of soul flew out and integrated into Wang Lin while he was startled. Looking at where the Allseer dissipated, Wang Lin suddenly felt a chill in his heart. What the hell is he going to do? Wang Lin silently pondered, then he immediately recalled the direction the Allseer had pointed to. He felt Allseer's aura there. This aura seemed to be calling him, waiting for his arrival. This video will end here.